Hello and welcome to episode 50 of the Fiber and Dice podcast. I am your host, Rebecca. You can find me on Instagram and Ravelry as Engineers Falcon. Welcome. This is episode 50. I am kind of surprised we have made it this long. I know that there were some times that there was some concern I would never get around to filming again. Probably this month being one of them. I did not film it all in November, but I am back for December. It is December 5th, 2015. And I am glad to be back. First things first, join the group, Fiber and Dice, on Ravelry. There will be giveaways this week. There will be giveaways in 10 days. So hop over there and look. Lots of giveaways at the end of the next. I'm sorry, there's lots of noise outside my door. On the next podcast will be all the prizes, all the giveaways. So, peaks and pitfalls in our little hike through life. It was my birthday. I am old now. I don't know. I don't really feel old, or older than I felt in a long time. But it was not a huge day, which is really kind of nice. We had break week because it was also Thanksgiving week, so we didn't have school. And my mom and dad and sister drove down from Lubbock to hang out with us, and it was wonderful. We had a very nice time. My sister made me a pistachio cake with cherry frosting, and I ate a lot of it. I literally ate, it was like a butt pan size cake, and I think I ate half of it that day. I don't usually just sit and eat cake all day, but I would just walk by. I finally just left the fork and the knife on the dish with it, and I just cut off a little slice and nibble on it. It was delicious. We went out and had roses for lunch, and then we came home and did presents. I'm hoping the engineer is staying close because I need him to hand me one of them. One of my presents was from my parents. They got me a woolly winder. I could not believe it. I almost fainted. If you do not know what this replaces these pieces on your spinning wheel. And instead of having hooks that you move as you spin to fill up, and so you move, and then you move it back 6 times, as this spins, the hook moves with it to make this nice, even, to fill up the bobbin very evenly. And I have to say, it's gorgeous. It makes very pretty. Now, this fiber, don't judge. I know I have a shop and sell handspun, so this will not ever be in the shop. This might be the ugliest single I've ever spun in my entire life. I ply fabulously fast and easy on the woolly winder. Spinning, we're not quite friends yet. So this is some practice fiber for that. I could sit here and spin this all day. Isn't it cool? Woo-hoo! Okay, that's enough of that. And then my sister, because she knows me so very well, she got me this piece of art. And I don't know if you're going to be able to see it because of its glass. It says, "After all this time, always." And it is gorgeous. I am a big snake fan. The engineer brought a...
That might work.
Don't judge the filth of my cutting board, okay, peeps? Oh, there you go. After all this time, always. I'm a big snake fan, and I don't know. I really liked this. It hangs right here. Here's my chair that I sit in, my rocker. Oh, I thought it might rock high enough that you can see, but here's the rocker I sit in. I've got a little tiny bookshelf here with all my current books and projects on it, and then this hangs right above it now. So, in fact, I might have moved a family photo so it can sit over beside me. Yeah, so. The other thing was I finished National Novel Writing Month, right at 51,000 words, I think, this year. It was fan fiction, non-published. No one ever is going to read any of my fan fiction. It's horrible and angsty and all drama-y. But I wrote it, and it was cohesive, and it triggered some thoughts. I find that as I write fan fiction, I have thoughts for things that might actually become real novels someday. So I've taken a couple of those ideas, and I've already started some other writing on it that might be a real book someday. So I'm excited about that. So that was very productive for me this month. The latest I finished in 5 years. I think it's been 5 years since I finished as close to the end of November as I did this year. Some years I finished as early as the 20th. This is my seventh time to play, seventh time to complete my novel. So it's fun. I really like it. Mountain of Conquered Things. There are quite a few things. I'm going to start with handspun. You guys may have seen these two. I don't remember when I finished them. I want to say they were on the wheel last time. This is Pond and Steve's plaid shirt. I was watching. I just think this is pretty pond colors. It's in the shop. Oh, I got business cards. Yes, Steve of Dramatic Knits was wearing a plaid shirt while I was spinning this that was in these colors, except his had some black in it. But so it became, I think, just plaid shirt. I didn't actually call it Steve's plaid shirt because I didn't think anybody would care. But what else have I spun? I finished this. This was one of my oldest fibers that I had in my stash, and it's blues and pinks. I turned it in for detention in the Harry Potter House Cup. I got a Dancing with Dumbledore badge because it was enough yardage to dance with Dumbledore. I finished Steampunk Autumn. This has not been soaked, so don't worry that it's got a little bit of life in it. If you're interested in it, it will be in the shop sometime this month. It is this autumny browns and golds with sparkle in it. I love it so much. So this is my Steampunk Autumn colorway. And this is all for me. I'm keeping it all for myself. I'm calling this Gallifrey. I thought it was very Doctor Who-ish. All those rich sky colors. Probably more looking up at the sky from Gallifrey, but awesome. And I plied this, look at that pretty ply, on my new woolly winder. I was so excited. The singles I'd started before I got the woolly winder. So the singles I just finished on normal bobbins, and then I switched to the woolly winder to ply, and this took hour and 15 minutes to ply. It was so fast. Oh my goodness, it was so fast. So I am very pleased. So this will not be in the shop, but everything else that I showed you today will be up in the shop. What else is in finished things? I finished socks. Squee! I'm so excited. These are socks for me. They're called Yule Ball socks. The yarn was dyed by Yarn vs. Zombies for the Geek Club. Oh, I should have gotten the sock blockers out. They're hanging in the closet. I love them so much. Okay, so in Harry Potter Knit and Crochet House Cup, you have owls, which are like big 2 to 3 month long projects. And my 2 to 3 month project was my goal that I set for myself. You guys know how long it takes me to knit socks. You have watched me do this for, the better part of a year and a half now. And you know that I take forever. So my goal was to be able to work up a recipe or a formula so I could pick up a ball of sock yarn and the circular needle of my choice, swatch it up, and knit a sock that fit. So I used a women's size 5, a women's size 9, and my husband's massive, gigantic men's 11 and a half feet. So I used the same sock pattern for everything. I used a toe that I got from from a craftsy class that Ann Budd does on socks. I used the Hermione's Everyday Sock texture. I used a fish lip kiss heel. On mine, I put, I purled instead of knit the bottom so that the purl ridges, I can't stand them. My feet just can't do it. And then I did a twisted rib, 1x1 rib for the cuff. So I used the exact same recipe for all the socks, and all 3 pairs fit all 3 wildly different size recipients perfectly. I am so tickled. And I have to say that I think the engineer socks that I knit for him are my very favorite knit socks ever. Look at these. I think they're gorgeous. This is something from Knit Picks. I don't even remember what it was. His feet are too big to knit a good full-length sock out of one skein. Thank you. One skein of fiber. This was also dyed by Yarn vs. Zombies for that same Geek Club that my Yule Ball socks were. This is Star Wars socks because of like the Jedi colorways, and then there are little like lightsaber flashes of color. But as you can see, same toe, same Hermione's everyday pattern. The foot of his sock is just normal knit. Mine is purled. Same fish lips kiss heel, same leg, same cuff. But they fit him gorgeously. So, and I think they are my favorite knit socks ever. I think they're too pretty. So my sock blockers came out of storage. I was so excited. Oh my goodness, when you're taking pictures of your socks, they look so much prettier on sock blockers. Who knew? I knew, but my stuff was supposed to be in storage for 3 months, not 2 years. So I'm handing things to the engineer. Magic. I cannot even tell you how much stuff is piled around me. The other big thing I finished, and I am so proud of this, is my lap blanket wrap thing. This was another Harry Potter project. And I was using up scrap yarn, which I had a lot of. It starts here with this oatmeal color. Purple and blue stripe, oatmeal, maroon, winey color, oatmeal, reverse on the stripes, and more oatmeal. And it is pretty much my wingspan. Not quite, but really close. So, it is acrylic. It was just leftover acrylics from washcloths and baby things. But I love it so much. It is warm. It is long. I like the way that, I'm going to turn around because I really like the way that the maroon stripe goes right down the middle of my back. And it is the perfect size it literally covers me from like top of my bust to my ankles. Or when I'm sitting in the car and everyone else has the air conditioner on, it folds in half and is perfectly covers up my knees. I made this up as I went along. I cast on a handful of stitches. The actual stitch, if I make show notes, I'll link to the actual stitch in the show notes because I don't remember what it's called, but I love it. I love it, I love it, I love it. So that is all that is finished. What is climbing the mountain? Really the only thing that is actually currently actively on my needles or wheel is this not pretty. Now, let me say, this is some of my oldest stash yarn ever, and it was in the bottom of the stack. So I don't know if it's the woolly winder and I are not friends. I don't know if it's that my wool was compressed. I didn't think it was, but when I started spinning, it was kind of acting like it was compressed and maybe matted a little bit. So I don't know. I will give you more updates on the woolly winder as I go. But if I do nothing but ply on it, it is well worth the investment because it is amazing. And it really does make pretty bobbins. And I like pretty bobbins. And they look pretty on Instagram. I say that like that's my number one important thing in life is that something looks pretty on Instagram. So that's the only thing that's climbing the mountain. What is sitting in base camp? I have decided that December is my WIP month, my works in progress month. So I'm going to try to finish up a few things that I have on the needles. Scoot over a little bit. Well, no. When my head blocks the light from this light, I get better color. But when I sit in front of it to get the better color and block it, then I look like I have like a propeller. I look all Inspector Gadget with the propeller coming out of my head, but I think I like the lighting better, so you can just pretend like I'm Inspector Gadget for this episode. How's that? So what kinds of things? One, I'm going to learn to darn a sock, and I'm not starting little because these gorgeous socks that I knit last year for my sister, these Hawaiian tattoo socks, the cat got. And there is no longer a toe. This was the toe, and then we've got quite a bit of roughness right there. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to darn this section right here. And for the toe itself, I think I'm just going to pick all of the old toe off. I have a little bit of this yarn left. I've been using it for tags and stuff because this is kind of my Bluebonnet fibers. This is Blue Yonder Stroll Tonal from Knit Picks. So I've got a little bit of it in my stash. So I may try to pick it out completely and then put a completely new toe on it. Just pick up and put a toe on. And then do some repairs where Kitty. Kitty. She's a sweet kitty, but she does like to steal things and chew on them. So that's one of the things that's in my base camp. Other works in progress in my base camp are an entrelac scarf I started a long time ago, and I love it. These are the colors. So I just need to, I need to not leave it down on the floor where the cats are going to eat it. Oh. What I didn't realize was that this is not actually attached to these because I've restarted it so many times. I've got like all these little tiny balls to work with first. So when I picked it up, I dropped all the little balls that were attached to it. So now they're all over the floor. So I'll go pick those up in a minute. Or maybe the engineer's going to come around to do that. Maybe not. Maybe he's going to go talk to the children who are getting loud. I would love that. I have my Harmonize cowl that was designed by KDLB of the Yarnings podcast. And I got the kit for that, so it has the little stitch marker from Sheep Spot and yarn from there. I think I'm about halfway through. I don't remember. This is one of those I'll have to pull the pattern out and see where I was. Hopefully I marked it. That's usually what stops me. I know how to mark my patterns so that if I put them down and don't come back to them immediately, I can pick up and go. I know how to do that. I just don't. The other knitting work in progress I have is this octopus for the Girl Geekling for Wiley. I hate knitting stuffed animals. This is some handspun I did. I hate it, but she's sweet and I love her dearly, and so she gets a fiddly octopus, but she has to wait until I'm in the mood to do it. So I'm going to take this out of my lap because it's making me hot. And works in progress on the wheel. I have Quest from the from the spin along thing on Targi. So that, and then I have, and this is one of the prizes that I will be giving away next time. I have a skein of Primrose from Moon Rover Yarn. She is a viewer. She sent me this to give away to you guys a few months ago. You might remember seeing it when it came in. So this will be one drawing for a giveaway. There will be a question of some sort on this thread. So run in, answer the question, and I will probably about like what you like in her shop or something like that. She also donated a copy of Letters to Santa. This is Love Letter. If you've been with us a long time, I've talked about Love Letter a lot. It was actually my very first game of the week in the very first episode of Fiber Nice Podcast with a Santa theme to it. So, oh, he said our copy's right here too. That makes sense since all the copies of Love Letter. You guys want to see my Love Letter stash? I have Love Letter. I have Letters to Santa. I have Lost Legacy, the Starship. I have Lost Legacy, Flying Gardens. And I have The Hobbit Love Letter. Can we tell this is one of my favorite games ever? My sister has Munchkin Love Letter and Batman Love Letter and the original art on the original Love Letter.
And the Legend of the Five Rings.
Oh, and the Legend of the Five Rings Love Letter. So, lots of stacks of Love Letter. And we play it a lot. This one is just this is just rethemed. There's no rule change in this one. So if you like Love Letter, if you don't know Love Letter, you should enter to win this. Tell me what your favorite game is, or if you're not a gamer and would like this game, tell me that in that thread. So I will open that tonight. I will be drawing for both of these on the 15th. But she sent me all of that to say she sent me Primrose to spin for myself, and I have one skein of it done. I mean, one bobbin. And let me tell you, this is spinning up so fine and so pretty. Just gorgeous. It is some of the nicest fiber I've ever worked with. So if you're a spinner and you appreciate beautiful fiber, you definitely want to enter for this one. So when I I wanted to spin it in this exact gradient that she did, but I was afraid that I would be off. So when I divided it down the middle, and then I divided it into little tiny chunks of color and weighed those until I got those little chunks exact and then numbered them so that hopefully I will have a very, very spot on gradient to what she dyed. So this is what mine looks like right now. This is color number 9, one of the light blue colors. This is color number 2, the light green color. This is color number 7 in the progression. This is number 4. So I will just spin all those in order, and hopefully they will line up really, really close to this one. So maybe I will have that to show you guys when I draw the winner for this. Maybe I'll make that my first work in progress to finish. So pretty much all of the things I've shown you that I'm going to be working on were retired to the middle of nowhere, just sitting, waiting, and I haven't touched them in months. So that's what December is all about for me, is finishing up things for me that I like or for the daughter that I love. So I'm looking to see if there's anything else but games that I have missed. Okay, let's talk prize drawings and threads and those kinds of things. One of the things I spent November doing and that I'm spending December doing is thinking about what exactly I want to do with the podcast, what I want to do with the business, what I want to do with the fiber and dice shop, all of those kinds of things. And this is what I have learned this year. I am awful at administrating contests. Have you guys noticed? Have you guys noticed how far behind I get on these things? It's not because I don't love you guys. It's not because I'm not ready for them. It's just that I'm not good at them at all. I don't keep up with the dates. I don't keep up with the opening and closing of threads. I don't keep up with show notes really well. And so I think that this year I got really overambitious. So for all of you who have earned prizes or who are wondering if you earned prizes, I'm really, really sorry. I've had a really hard time keeping up with all of that. So next year there will be less prizes that I promise that I can't turn around faster. I think we will probably keep the Fiber and Dice Challenge on Instagram. But all of that to say, I'm sorry that I'm so behind on prizes and threads and all of those things. Next episode, on the 15th, is going to be the big prize episode for the year for everything that has closed up until this point. That will include the October drawing for Instagram hashtag. Did we? No, because I recorded on Halloween. No, because I thought people might want to put last minute entries in. I don't think I did October. It will include November's Fiber and Dice. I will tell you all of the cool things that are coming up for the Fat Cat Knits Yarn Along. Everyone who turned in a finished object won a prize. I was going to do 4 prizes and there were 5 finished objects, so everybody won a braid of fiber from Fat Cat Knits. And so I'll tell you more about that next episode. And I will do the drawings right before I film. I will close for the Primrose yarn from Moon Rover Yarns and the Letters to Santa. So, and the engineer will help me get this in the mail as soon as I make that announcement and have your address. So maybe you will even get it before Christmas and can play. It's the perfect Christmas Eve family game, in my opinion. Perfect for the holidays. So I would like to have it to you before that. So apologies for being overwhelmed with all the contesting. I had a very good time. I've enjoyed it all. I will wrap up the 10x10 and 2x2 prizes the January 5th, the first episode in January. And I will tell you more about what we're going to do with the podcast then. So I just want to say thank you for everyone who stuck with us this year while things were crazy and I was trying to figure out who I am as a podcaster and what I want to do with Bluebonnet Fibers and all of those crazy things, because it's a lot. It's a lot of work from this side of the screen. And it's not that I didn't know that. I totally knew it, because awesome things take a lot of hard work. I just didn't know how bad I'd be administrating it all. So now to Gamerly News. Mr. Smith, you want to come sit with me? Sure. Okay. scoot over and let him pull up a chair. Or there's Yarn. I'm sorry.
Darn, you're- what?
What? What? Yarn here on this podcast? You've got to be kidding. Are we currently backing anything on Kickstarter? I don't think we are. That's
No.
open. No. No, we're saving all of our dollars because it's holiday season. So those Kickstarter dollars are going to presents and things like that.
Sorry.
We are making decent progress on our 10x10 and 2x2. We are still up on our 2x2s.
Yeah.
So I was kind of shocked about that. I kind of thought it would be a train wreck by now. Last year we finished on Thanksgiving or the day after Thanksgiving. This year we did not finish by
Yeah.
Thanksgiving.
I think we've got one-ish plays of our 10x10s.
Yeah. So we're getting there. We still got time to do it, especially with holidays coming up. We game a lot during the holidays.
Yeah.
Especially now that we only live 2 hours from home. It makes it much easier because we're not driving. From North Carolina, it was 24 hours. From Corpus, it was 9-ish. So we spent most of our holidays then driving. But now, not so much.
Yeah.
We're there by dinner. What are our 2x2s this month?
The first one we did was Tiny Epic Defenders.
And I will be talking more about that on next episode. We will do a Tiny Epic Game of the Month Palooza.
Yeah, I think I have
Palooza.
3 out right now, and then a couple more coming next year.
So, but I will tell you, they are tiny and they are epic. They are appropriately named. And then we decided this was our other one.
Yeah,
Yes, no. Do you
well-
have thoughts?
no, that's.
Okay.
I don't think we had decided.
It will either be this or what Tiny Epic Galaxies.
Yeah, well, we've got 10
Let's not.
more new
No,
games.
no, don't. Don't.
We have a lot of games to play.
A lot of games to play. Kickstarter, yeah, we kind of went crazy on Kickstarter this year, and now that they're all coming in at the same time, they're coming in faster than we can play them because life.
Well, I was also thinking the challenge we're doing on Board Game Geek for play 100 different games this year.
Oh, yeah.
We still need 10-ish more on those.
We will have played 100 different games this year. How cool is that? I don't think we'll have any trouble hitting our 365.
Yeah.
I don't think that will be a problem at all. Which just leaves the 10x10 and the 2x2. And the 10x10 is the one I'm the most worried about, but I'm not actually worried about it yet. We've still got a few weeks. So
Yeah.
if we really focus, really focus. So this is our what's in good running to be our other 2x2 for this month. This is Karnivore Koala, a post-eucalyptic, I can't read backwards,
Cards and dice.
cards and dice game. I was like, I've said this like a dozen times when I talked about it before, but now I can't remember the line. Basically, it's the apocalypse and there is no more eucalyptus, and so the koalas have become carnivores and are eating all of the mutated animals. It sounds so morbid.
It's a bit.
Definitely,
dark.
yes.
Well, it's dark humor, but it's not.
It's not like gloom dark humor.
Yeah, it's definitely lighter than that, and I think the art and the koalas do that.
I would say
They're-
it's meant to be silly.
yes.
It's silly, not excessively gross. Custom dice. It is for ages 12 plus, 2 to 6 players, 20 to 40 minutes. We have not played it yet because we were saving it. I thought we were saving it for 2x2 this month. So, and then our game of the week this week. Best Treehouse Ever. I talked about this game when we backed it on Kickstarter, and it came, and it was one of our 2x2s last month. You want to talk about Scott?
Yeah. Scott Alms is the designer, and this is published by Green Couch Games. 2 to 4 players, 30 minutes, ages 8 and up. I think that's all pretty standard. In fact, the second time we played it, it went, I think, even quicker than 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Scott Alms, I think, also designed the Tiny Epic games.
That would not surprise me. He's brilliant.
I think that's where we heard about this from. But in this, you are all building tree houses.
And your goal is to build
The best one
the best treehouse ever. I think this would make a great stocking stuffer for young people who like to game, or a gift, or we're going to a really boring family event. I don't have any of those personally, but I hear horror stories. So something to do with the kids while everyone else is watching football. This would be perfect. The idea is that you pick a color. There are up to four players. Blue. It's the little details in this game that I love so much.
Yeah.
Blue has a little ladder. Yellow has a little rope to climb. Orange has like little stairs nailed to the tree. There's a fourth color.
Yep. I'll look for it. It's probably on the bottom of that.
It's probably on the bottom of the stack. I will just show you real quick what else is in there. There's some modifier cards that look like this. There's a score. Red. Red has like a dumbwaiter to pull yourself up into the thing.
The score track comes on cards, and that doesn't look right. Is that
No.
right on that side?
It's not. I don't think.
Yeah, it is.
Oh yeah. Yep.
There's a third one.
There's a third one that's on the floor now with the yarn.
So basically, as you're scoring points through the game, you just move along the track. But it's very cute and fits the theme very nicely.
Yes. So you've got your markers for the score track, and you've got rooms for your treehouse. This is a card drafting game, so everyone is dealt a hand. You pick a card. Everybody plays them simultaneously onto their treehouse. You want to hold that up?
Yeah.
When you play a card, you play it over half of your treehouse. So your first here. So you build your house like this, and it continues to go up. One of the neat mechanics I like is balancing your treehouse.
Okay.
You have a little acorn. I don't know if you've noticed because I didn't hold it close enough. These little acorn shaped things down here. You get the acorn in your color, and it starts in the middle. When you place something on your treehouse, you shift the acorn to the side you played on. So if you add it there, well, now I'm all the way over here. I cannot add another. I can't do that because then my treehouse will fall over. So it has to be played somewhere that I can move the acorn to the left. If you place something right in the middle, the acorn doesn't move because it doesn't shift the balance of the treehouse. And once I'm all the way over here, I start working back. So that limits where you can put your treehouse. The reason that matters is because each different color of house is a different themed room. So you have food themed rooms, candy store, bakery.
Yep. Science ones.
Yes, yellow. The painting studio. Oh, education.
Education, I think is what they call education.
It, yeah. The computer lab. The illustration on these are so cute.
Yeah. Purple is entertainment.
Yep.
So there's a movie theater.
A music room. It's a huge stack of cards.
Yeah.
Huge stack of cards. Let me see what else.
Water room.
The dress-up room. Blue is water rooms. Because who doesn't need a pirate ship in their treehouse, right?
That's right.
Awesome. I hadn't seen this one.
I don't think I've seen that one either.
This is the armory with all his water balloons and water guns. I love it. I love it so much. And there's a color left, red.
Yeah. There it is.
Sports rooms?
Yep. We haven't been green either.
Oh, there are two left. Never mind. Cargo net for the sports. There's a bowling alley in the sports room. These are my kind of sports.
I don't have any cards.
Green.
And green are outdoor rooms. So there's...
I have a huge stack with no greens in them.
Yeah.
I would suspect that when the children, my kids, as soon as we finished playing this for real, took it and made up their own games with it.
They loved this. And the art is really just engrossing.
Look at that petting zoo. Who doesn't want to go to a treehouse with that petting zoo in it? Really? It is amazing. I hadn't seen this one either. There are so many cards that even playing it a few times went all the way through the cards.
This
one? The one on top.
Uh-huh.
A butterfly garden. And a rope bridge. So, lots of fun rooms, lots of different colors. So the idea is that as you build up on your treehouse, you pull a card, you play it, you move your acorn, you pass your hand to the left. When there's only one card left, when you've drawn all the cards, then you discard the last card and you score your treehouse. You do this for 3 different rounds.
Yep. Normally, each room in a treehouse of a certain color is worth 1 point.
Yep.
So there's all these scoring cards that are set kind of on the side of the table away from the tree houses.
So for every green, you get 1. For every yellow, you get 1. For every blue, you get 1, etc.
They're in that stack somewhere.
I covered them up. The twist is that starting with the person with the highest score, you draw modifiers. So there are two different kinds of modifiers. This room type does not score this round. And this round, each player scores 2 per room in this color of the house. So you go around, you pick your modifiers, and then in the reverse order that you pick the modifiers, you play them on a color. So I have the lowest score. This would be normal. I pick this. Charles, who is winning, has 18 purples in his treehouse. So I would not play this one.
No, that's not a good one for that.
I would play this one. This room does not score. So nobody gets points for their purple that time. So that makes a little twist on it. Then you deal new hands, pass them around, and start over. After the third round, you score, and you keep track as you go on the scorecard. Then at the very end of the game, after the third round,
And after the third scoring.
Then whoever has the most of each color room gets 1 bonus point for each color. So whoever has the most browns gets 1 bonus point
Per brown room.
per brown room that's in their treehouse. And both times that we played, I think we won in bonus points.
Yeah, it tended to be really close until you got to
bonus
whoever
points.
had the most of a certain color at the end.
Because there is a little sabotage. And I will say I have one that is she's a little vindictive when she plays.
Yeah.
She
Oh yeah, she
didn't want Charles to win.
She outgained me.
She did. She didn't want Charles to win. So she didn't care who won as long as it was not Charles. So she blocked the room that she had the most of just so he wouldn't get that many points, even though it cost her the game. She is that person. There's got to be you've got like your rule lawyer and your, all your different types of gamers at the table, the distracted gamer, the whatever. I don't know what the one is who doesn't care if she wins as long as she makes you as miserable as possible while you play, but I'm really scared I'm raising one of those. So, now I will say, she is not tacky in general, but she's, if you get on her bad side, she will sabotage you at cost to her own winning game. So,
there are also some bonus, I think they're hidden point. We haven't played with these yet, so I don't remember exactly how they work, but they're like secret goals. And so you're trying to get different combinations of rooms in your treehouse.
Yep.
And they give you more points once you, if you have them at the end. So, and there's, comes with 6 of those. And then I think this was a stretch goal or a bonus for backing. We had even more.
oh wow.
So
We hadn't even opened that packet yet.
Yeah.
But again, so if you're playing with
There's
just little ones, you can make it really simple, straightforward. But as you're playing with older kids and adults, I don't even think adults would mind this game. I think it's really fun. There are some ways that you can level up the gameplay to make it a little more challenging and more interesting. So, okay, that is it. I think that's all for this episode. Next episode will be all the prizes, all the games, all the catching up on all the things that I fell behind on. So please come back for that one and enter to win the fiber and the game because they're both awesome. I have them both and I love them both very much. So best Treehouse Ever, great game for
8 and up.
8 and up families,
Yep.
holidays, Christmas, stocking stuffers, cousins that you don't know what to buy a gift for.
Yeah.
I think it would be perfect for all of those situations. So, Lord willing and the creek don't rise, I will see you guys again around the 15th. Bye.
Bye.